Success is super easy. Freaking easy. Anybody can have it. Literally anybody. I don't care who you are. And the way you get it, in my opinion, is... Well, first, let me say, it doesn't matter if you make $1 an hour or if you have $10 million in the bank. The only way you're ever going to be successful is if you can wake up every day, or most days. I would say if out of 365 days, if 300 days, 200 days, you wake up and you you don't hate your life. You're not miserable and you don't dread your life. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter where you live, any of that. There's people that commit suicide that have the most money. There's people that are completely broke that commit suicide. There's people of every background, ethnicity, culture that cannot cope with life, and therefore they end it. So, I've came to this definition because we're all trying to figure out this puzzle. We're all trying to live a certain way. We have certain expectations of how life should be. But I've just came to the realization is there is no right or wrong way to do it. Like, it's the only thing that you need to pursue, or we all need to pursue, is just a life. It doesn't even have to be meaningful or purposeful or fulfilling. Just don't create a life that you don't like. You don't have to be, and you shouldn't expect to be happy and joyful every single second of every day. Happiness is fleeting. It's not something that's permanent. It's super temporary. But if you can wake up and feel content and you feel like you want to continue to live, that's the whole goal here. Like, if you want to end your life, which understandably, I understand sometimes when people want to end their life. I used to have no empathy for people that wanted to end their life. But the older I get, the more I understand why people would even consider it and why people follow through with it. It's because they never learn how to cope with this existence, and their expectations versus reality do not align. They're like complete opposites. Like, you think your life is going to work out a certain way, and it ends up being completely different than you thought, and a lot of things that you thought were true weren't true, and a lot of things that you believed about your family, about school, about society, that you had this fairy tale like expectation based off of the movies that you watched when you were a kid, the TV shows, the dreams that you were sold. And then the more you grow up, you realize it was all a lie and it's not reality. And I get it. So I just believe that if you can wake up and not want to end your life, that is success. That's it. It doesn't matter how much money you make or how smart or dumb you are, how fat or skinny you are. If you can wake up and not hate your existence, I mean, what more can you want? Like, really? I guess you could want everything in the world, but that doesn't mean those things are going to make it better. I mean, obviously, there's super rich and famous people that we idolize, and we think that, man, if we could just have what they have, life would be so much better. Those same people that we idolize commit suicide and are miserable and go through the same problems that we do on a lower level with divorce and family issues. That just happens on a bigger scale and more publicized, but they have the same problems and the same struggles, and they're trying to figure out what will make them happy and what will make their life worth living. And so I just say that to prove a point that we think that once we reach a certain level of success, money, fame, whatever it is, then it'll be fine. But there's plenty of examples of the opposite, and we all know this. So you don't wait till you achieve or reach a certain level and then be highly disappointed that it didn't give you what you thought it was going to give you. If you can wake up every day and not hate this existence, that's the pursuit. The pursuit isn't happiness. The pursuit isn't fulfillment. It's not even pleasure. It's just waking up and saying, hey, this is awesome. This is cool. I don't hate it. Because there's potential for joy, there's potential for happiness, there's potential for pleasure out there every day. There's potential to experience all those positive emotions. And that doesn't mean you have to have that 24 hours a day. So anyway, hopefully you can find a path or a way of living that isn't dreadful, that you don't hate. No matter what you decide to do, what career field you go into, just make sure that you don't hate it. Because if you hate it, it's your body and mind is trying to tell you something that needs to change, but you're not listening because society told you to do one thing. Even if you grew up and you're super intelligent, everybody told you you're smart, you should be a doctor, you should be a lawyer, you should be all these high intelligent things in life. But your body and mind is saying, you want to be a fitness trainer or you want to be a zookeeper. But you're doing what they want you to do because that's what you've always believed and were told. But that's a recipe to, even if you make a lot of money as an attorney or a doctor, if you wake up and you don't want to do it and you don't enjoy it, but you feel like you have to, that's a recipe for suicide or just a miserable existence. So no matter what people tell you, if you're waking up every day and you're miserable, no matter what these people tell you, it doesn't change that. No matter, you could win the lottery, and you could be happy for a couple days or a couple months, but then it just resets and you're back to square one of, now what do I do? What do I do in my life now? Everybody thinks money's going to solve all their problems, and I can't say that money won't solve, because money would solve a lot of my current problems, but once those problems are solved, then there's a whole new layer of problems that I didn't even know existed. So in my perspective, just design and constantly experiment and seek outside information with an open mind for the purpose of, and not, like I said, not happiness or joy or all these positive emotions that come and go, but just to exist, just to make this worth living. We all think we have to be fulfilled and successful all the time, but that's not the truth. Some of the most joyful, happy people you meet may be the poorest people. Maybe you look at them and you say, wow, I don't know how they're so happy or whatever. So it's not about what you have, it's about what's going on upstairs. So anyways, I've drugged this on a little bit too long, but hopefully you're able to design a life, even if it's not immediate. Hopefully you're able to constantly work and design a life that you don't hate, no matter what age you're at now. It may be hard, it may be confusing, you may have to relearn different things and kind of brainwash yourself out of the brainwashing that you already had. You just have to be a little bit more open-minded and whatever. Hopefully you can end up living a life that isn't miserable. I really hope that for you. So thanks for watching.